Eruvin, Perek Zayin, Mishnah Vav. We finally come to a really important question. How do you make an Eruv? How do you make a Shituf? So we're going to learn, the Mishnah will tell us about how to make a Shituf. And then we're going to see in the Rambam how you make an Eruv as well, an Eruv Chatzerot. Says the Mishnah, Ketzad Mishtatfin B'Mavo'ot. How do you make a Shituf of a Mavo'ot? So he says, Meiniach et chavit. You take the chavit, the barrel of food or whatever. Remember, we're talking about a Shituf Mavo'ot. Shituf, Mishtatfin. Because a Shituf Mavo'ot, you can do it with anything, as we've learned. You can do it with dates or olives or whatever, as opposed to, we're going to see, Eruv Chatzerot, that has to be done with pat. Has to be done with bread. So you place the chavit on the ground, and you say, Ve'omer, Harezo l'chol b'nei hamavoy. This is for everyone in the mavoy. Umezakel lahem. And you have to do what's called Zikuy. Okay? Since, let's look at the Bartuner for 1 second. Since menichet chavit mishalo, we're going to see in the Rambam, im yirtzeh, he can do it from his own. Ve'az sarich lezakot. Then he has to do what's called this process of Zikuy, to accept it on behalf of the people. The ilu mishalahem, because if he takes it from them, if everyone contributes, ein sarich lezakot. Then you don't have to do this Zikuy process. We'll see in the Rambam in a second. Okay? Place the barrel, the jug of olives or dates or, I don't know, whatever, popcorn on the ground. And he says, this is for everyone in the mavoy. And he is mizakeh. How do you translate that? He receives it on their behalf, or he gives it, lizakot means to give it to them. Al yedei beno ubito agdolim, via his son or daughter who are adults. Vayidei abdo v'shivchato ha'ivrim, or his Hebraic eved, slave, or shivcha, or maid. Vayidei ishto, or through his wife. Aval eino mizdakeh, because these people are gedolim, and therefore they have a yad, they have the halachic ability to accept and to receive and to make a kinyan, halachic kinyan. Aval eino mizdakeh lo al yedei beno ubito aktanim, but he can't use his minor children, his minor son or daughter. V'lo al yedei abdo v'shivchato aknani, nor his Canaanite eved or shivcha. Canaanite eved, slave or shivcha. Because halachically, when your minor child picks something up, it makes a kinyan. Halachically, it belongs to the balabayit. Same thing as your eved kanani, your shivcha kanani. Therefore, you have to have someone whose hand is like kiyado. His yad, his hand is his own, and he has his own zichiyah. So therefore, you have to have beno ubito agadolim. You have to have adults do it. Or ayadei ishto. It's a very interesting question the poskim talk about, right? Is yad isha ki yad bala or not? Is she somechet al shulchano? Does she rely on him for sustenance or not? But just understand that has to be someone who has what's called a halachic yad. They can make a kinyan for themselves, and their kinyan has efficacy. Now, so let's look at the Rambam. The Rambam actually, this is a Hilchot Eruvin, Perek Aleph, Halacha Tet Zayin. Here we go. Hilchot Eruvin, Perek Aleph, in the Rambam. And I'm sharing with you from this the amazing Machon Mamre website. If you haven't seen it or you don't use it, it's just incredible. There's so much Torah out there on the internet. It's amazing. Ketzad ma'arvin b'chatzeros. Remember we said that normally the way you make an Eruv is everyone contributes. So that's what the Rambam said. Govin chala achat shleima mikol bayit ubayit. Everyone gives a chala, because we're talking about Eruv chatzerot. Umenich makol b'kli echad b'bayit echad. And you put them all in one kli, in one house, from the batei chatzer. We're going to skip where you put it, blah, 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 where to put it, okay? Okay, when you bring all this stuff together, mevarech, you make the bracha, we'll move it up. And then you say, ve'omer, be'eruv zeh, with this eruv, yeh mutar l'chol b'nei chatzer l'hotzi u'la'achnis mibayit lebayit b'shabbat. Okay, in this eruv, we're going to use it to be motzi u'machnis from house to house on Shabbat. Okay, and the bite that put the sheminichum bo eruv, where you put the eruv, no tzarich litein tapat. He doesn't have to give pat. The same thing. Kitzad mishtatfin b'mavoy. How do you do a mavoy? You take ochel kigroger. We're going to see this in the next Mishnah. The amount of a groger, a small date from each person. Okay, and we're going to see exactly how much. And then you put it in this kli umevarech al mitzvat eruv, and you say ve'omer, and you say bezeh hashituf, with this partnership, shituf, yemutar l'chol b'nei mavoy lotziu la'achnis michatzerot l'mavoy l'shabbat. You'll be able to take it from the chatzerot to the mavoy on Shabbat. Let's just skip a little bit, okay? But lakach echad b'bnei chatzer pat echad. In this chatzer, the same is true of the mavoy. If one person took one bread, ve'amar reizel l'chol b'nei chatzer, Okay? And he says this is for everyone in the chatzer. The same thing is true of the mavoi. Then, einot tzarich legabot mikol echad ve'echad. You don't have to take food from everyone. Aval tzarich lezakot lahen bo. You have to be mizakeh them. Let us remember, here's our mavoi. Okay? So this person has bread in his house. The point of the eruv or the shituf is the bread in my house belongs to everyone in the mavoi. So therefore that creates a commonality among us. So if I take a loaf of bread, it's my loaf of bread. That's why I have to do this zikuy. Where am I? Here we are. Through another one. And therefore the Rambam says, like we learned in our Mishnah, etc., etc., etc. And that's what the Mishnah says. That's what's called this process of zikuy. You say, you have to designate the eruv, and then you mizakeh and say, this eruv is accepted on behalf of everyone in this chatzer. Usually the rabbis do it on Erev Pesach, they do it with matzot, and they do exactly this process as described in the Mishnah and the Rambam. We'll stop here. If you have any comments or questions, as always, email me or ask your rabbi how they do it. It's really nice to learn how it's done. And we'll dedicate this learning in memory of my father, Rav Simcha Bar Yitzchak Kalman. Have a great day.